Can you imagine if he's got you behind with a choke? Is that going to be a lot harder to deal with at that point? Much harder. Okay, so let's talk about that. All right, guys. Hey, today we have two lovely guests that are going to help us with our videos. Over to my right here is Esther.
And over to our left is Mary Joy.
Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about situational awareness.
All situations can be avoided if you're aware of what's going on around you. You have your situational awareness, doesn't matter what the attack is.
We talked about the 4 phases of an attack, and number 1, attacker needs to first ID an unsuspecting victim. So that, I think, is the key word right there, is if you can be aware, then you no longer become the victim. We start out with this drill where we're just walking with a phone, which is very common these days, and we're walking, we're not paying attention, and we pass by somebody, and he realizes that I'm not paying attention, and so I become this unsuspecting victim, right, that we just talked about. So instead, we're going to do it something more like this. I look up, I acknowledge him, I can continue to look down, and I look over my back just to make sure he knows that I saw him, and then I can continue walking. And that simple act of looking up and making a brief eye contact, that you don't need to stare at him, you just need to acknowledge that you see him. And that's really the key. Remember, there's 2 spots that you want to do, right? You're going to first, as he approaches, you're going to quickly look up and acknowledge him, just as if like, hey, you know, and then you can look down, and then as he passes you, you want to kind of pause, look over your shoulder to double check to make sure that he's not following you, that he's continuing on his way, or just to, like a double assurance that I'm aware. I'm not an unsuspecting victim. I'm aware of what's happening around me, okay? Beautiful. And it didn't take a lot of work, right? Can you imagine if he's got you behind with a choke? Is that going to be a lot harder to deal with at that point?
Yeah.
Much harder. Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, even though I knew it was just a drill, it was pretty intimidating and scary. Yeah.
Right, okay. Okay, so right now, I don't need my phone. There's 2 ways I can, 2 ways I can go. I can go this way, and as I go this way, see how it tightens the choke? Because this is where the opening is. So if I can use my feet to come around this way into, see how it starts to slip? So I can hold on here, and I can start to slip. From this position, I have targets. What targets do you think I'm seeing right here from my position? What targets could I attack? I can attack knees, the groin, maybe the ankles or the feet. That's the one thing I want you to do, is to kind of come in here, hang on tight, and use all your body weight to hang on. And then I can't see up high, but I can see all this right here. And you can focus on one of those targets, right? Knee into the groin. I could also, this leg here is exposed. I could come in here and stomp on that ankle to break it. So I want you to think about this idea of high-low. So once you give a nice attack low, then think about maybe going high. I can go here, right? Then that exposes this. Then I can come in here and hit high. And I can hit anywhere where I see a target. You go for the eyes, go for the throat. I want to move, right? Because he's taking me away as he's moving, right? I might be going, get down low. So I want to take my hips, because my hips are up. I want to get them down low, and I need space to do that. Right here, they're being blocked by his leg, so I got to go either the inside or the outside. Usually the easier one is to go to the inside. If you do go to the outside, trap his legs, and you can trip him this way, get free, and now you're free to run. Once again, if you go to the inside, right, you're just hitting, right, and then you can continue to hit low. You can do low, or you can do low-high, wherever you feel like there's a target. Tration through the target was one of the most important things. You don't have to hit hard, especially in training. Yeah. Think about like penetrating through the target. So if I were gonna go high, let's say I just went low, and if I go high, just think about going low through, all the way through the target, using all your body weight. Attack the ankles, because those are some of the best targets, because you're going to ensure that he's not going to follow you if you can, attack one of the ankles. Yeah. We're actually not stepping on the foot, although that could work a little bit, but more effective is, I'll just show you really quickly. Any angle, right? So if I'm in this position, I can come in here and I'm gonna like stomp through that space, right? As opposed to trying to just stomp on his toes, that might hurt. But you really wanna create an injury, right? And so this is the one that, in this position, I'm set up for here. If I'm turned this way, then I'm gonna be set up for here. Here's another good idea. Taking the knee, just going into the inside here, and then going through to the ankle. So think about elbows, knees, hands, feet. Now stomp on his head. Good. That was awesome. That was perfect. Okay.